Hi everybody, Shannon Petrovich with Therapist Talks. Coming out of the fog, fear, obligation, and guilt of an abusive relationship. Have you ever felt you were in a fog? Have you noticed that when you emerge from the fog, you see clearly as if you'd been unable to see before, unable to think, unable to understand what was happening, and how to even get free of it? The fog is fear, obligation, and guilt. And as we sift through the rubble, we can learn and gain clarity so as not to wander into the fog ever again. Fear starts so subtly that we don't think of ourselves as fearful or of our relationships as frightening. When you begin the relationship, you might even be aware that that person has a temper, but they would never hurt you, or at least that's what they tell you and that's what you tell yourself. But your fear keeps you walking on eggshells nonetheless. Violence does not happen out of nowhere or in a vacuum. It's a part of a system of control, manipulation, and power. The love bombing, triangulating, and other tactics hook you in, while they gradually give you messages about what's acceptable from you and what is not. If you step outside of their requirements of you, they will ramp up as much power, control, pressure, and aggression as needed to get you back down into your place. And then they will love bomb you again to tell you that that's good behavior. This cycle over time creates very clear parameters that you know intuitively are acceptable and unacceptable. When others in your life tell you you've changed, you don't really know what they're talking about. You're falling into the F part of the fog. Obligation. This also develops over time with layers upon layers of manipulation. This is not only how you begin to feel obligated towards that person, but also often includes their family members, friends, and even strangely, your own family and friends if you get married to this person. The societal obligations we put on ourselves are a heavy burden that we begin to believe we have to carry. We think we have to continue a relationship that others think is good, or because we need to be in a relationship, so we settle. Or once we are in a relationship for a while, we feel obligated to continue, to move in together, to get married, even when we have reservations or even deep concerns. Obligation plays a huge role in the fog. Guilt. Guilt is the third part of fog and is intricately related to the fear and obligation. The guilt is how we condemn and blame ourselves for our fear and obligations. We not only blame ourselves for our choices, but for the other person's actions, saying we must have made them mad or stressed them out, or we should have known that they had a bad day at work, or not talked to them about whatever. Recognizing the fog and how it developed is crucial to clearing it out of your head for good. Look honestly at the fear. You didn't cause it and you can't cure it. The power, control, and manipulations created this pervasive fear that sends adrenaline through your system every time you sense any possibility that person may get upset with you. These are the signature tactics of an abuser and have nothing to do with you. There's nothing you did to cause them, and you will never figure out a way to make it stop. The only way to clear the fog, the fear, is to get free of the frightening situation you're in. When you do, it will still take time to clear the fog of fear out of your system. The obligation will clear when you step back and realize there are no obligations that supersede your safety, sanity, and happiness. If all the people who care about you knew what was going on, they would 100% be with you to help you get free. Anyone who is not with you in this is not your friend and needs to be given their eviction papers from your life. Societal obligations are in the same camp, but truly, they primarily exist in our own heads and really have nothing to do with anything tangible. When we look at that sense of obligation, it's an internal self-judgment, and we need to evict that garbage from our heads too. And the guilt. The guilt. We are only responsible for our attitudes, our awareness, and our actions. We're not guilty for anyone else's choices, behaviors, and never, never, never for their abuse towards us. Their abusiveness existed within them long before they knew us and will exist in them after us. There's no connection to anything they blame their abusiveness on. You're just not that powerful. You didn't cause it and you can't cure it. Taking care of yourself, you can come out of the fog of an abusive relationship. It takes time and care and clarity. So see the fog for what it is, the fear, obligation, and guilt, and let go and move into your life in all its potential for caring, empathic relationships and real love. If you've appreciated this video, please like, subscribe, Leave a comment if you'd like, and please share it on your social media. You never know when something that you share might help someone else. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you again soon.